Welcome to Remedial One YouTube channel. In this video, I'm still on WASI 2023, question number 6, elective math, school edition. So let's look at the question. The table below shows the distribution of height of students in the class. So this is the table. We have to draw a histogram for the distribution. Then we use our histogram to estimate the mode. Now, in elective maths, whenever you are given such a question, you have to be very careful, in a sense that sometimes you have unequal class interval. We are fortunate that looking at this, all the intervals are equal. So you just like the normal commas histogram. So first, how do we draw the histogram? We need to construct our frequency distribution table. So this becomes the frequency distribution table. So we have the height, we have the frequency, and then the class boundary column. How do we find the class boundary? So look at it carefully. You don't just subtract 0.5. You first look at the difference between the upper class interval and then the next lower class interval. So that difference, 130 minus 130, 29 is 1, and then we divide it by 2. That gives us 0.5. So this is the value that we are going to subtract from the lower class limit and then add it to the upper class limit. So when we do that, we have this column. So when we subtract this by 0.5, we have 124.5, and then when we add 120.5 to 129, we have 129.5. So you continue like that, and when you do that, we get this table. Okay, so let's come to the graph. So this is the graph. Now, anytime you are drawing a graph, your graph must cover about 75% of the whole sheet. The graph should not be at the bottom or should not be at the top here, small, low. It should be big enough. Okay, so you first looking at this, the frequency. First, you draw your axis. So the frequency will come on the left hand side, that is the vertical axis, and then the event, what we are talking about, the height, will come at the horizontal. So looking at the frequency, we choose appropriate scale. So if you make 2 centimeters to 2 units, that will be enough to cover all the interval. So 2 centimeters is the bigger box. So every bigger box, we are using 2 units to represent it. Okay. Now you see this break symbol here. Now, you see from 0, you move to 124.5 and then 129.5. The difference here is 5, and it is not equal to the interval here. So that's why we always have to break this to compensate for that. So if you are drawing histogram and you don't bring this one, you get 0 for the whole graph. So care must be taken. Right. So you construct your bars, and then the bars are on each other. Right. The bars are on each other. So this is the entire graph. Right. And then we were asked to use it to estimate our mode. And we know that mode, the item with the highest frequency. So when you come to histogram, so the mode, you first check the highest bar. So in this case, this is the highest bar. So on the left, you check the next highest bar. On the right, you check the next highest bar. And then you draw a straight line from one corner to the right hand side, and then you draw another one to the left hand side. The intersection becomes the mode. Read the value here. Now when we do that from the graph, our mode is 135.0. So let's look at the marking scheme. Now, according to the scheme, there is no mark for this frequency table. As I told you, in elective math, we always get unequal class interval. So there's no mark for this particular question. Now let's come to the graph. If you are able to plot the graph like this, then we are going to get B4, and then finding the mode as the evidence of showing that this is the mode on the graph. You get M1. And then the final answer correctly, you get A1. And this 135, we normally give a range. So according to this scheme, it is plus or minus 0.5. So which means that if you get 134.5, you'll be given the mark. If you get 135.5, so between this range, you'll be given the mark. So this is the answer. Viewers, thank you so much for watching this video. Next will be question 8. Don't forget to like the video. Bye.